Good morning. We are heading up to the garden, check in on everything. We've had rain for a couple days. Got to just make sure that everything's in order. Try to see what we can harvest out of it. I think we're going to make probably some spaghetti sauce today. I'm sure that we've got more tomatoes, just more tomatoes to eat with that. But we're also going to check on the bush beans that we planted, the pumpkins, and see how we're doing. Now with these tomatoes, we set them out. We picked the other day as they had just started to blush. Got them behind the electric fence still here in the garden. But you can see that they've turned really nice, with lots more that I can already see that we need to grab today. All right, we'll grab these Cherokee Purple. My favorite tomato. It started really well, came on early, but really what I've noticed that this year the yield off of these much smaller than off of our Casaludo tomatoes that are here next door. And we're going to see with these how much we can get off as well. I think quite a bit. We can see with these starting to die out, a lot of the foliage is coming off, and we're just trying to salvage what we can here towards the end of the season. These tomatoes have been really nice. I've been surprised. I wasn't sure. I'd never grown them before, and most everyone that I've talked to has never grown them before. If you have, drop a message down in the comments. Let me know what you think of them. Now with this one, we can see that it had a surge of water, and it's actually kind of split the flesh a little bit. This is just where the blossom was on the end. Not really blossom end rot, but we can see just, you can see some of the flesh in there. Probably could save some of that, but I know that my kids aren't going to love that, so it's going to go for the deer. But we still got some good size on these. It looks like a little nose. Definitely ready to harvest. Again, when they get that surge of water, they start to split. And where we've had this rain, I'm not surprised to see that at all. That one's been down on the ground and it's got pest in it. So again, we're going to give it to the deer. We'll let it firm up. That one is totally diseased looking. That's why I try to come out here and check this every day. I've just been busy this last week, and it hasn't happened, but a lot more to go. All right, how gorgeous are these purple bush beans? Disregard the amount that's been eaten on them, but such a pretty variety. Really happy with that. Got more tomatoes. I'll show you what we've got as the haul today so far. I'm glad I did leave some cucumbers. We did terrible with our cucumbers earlier this year, but I left 3 of the plants, and we've got some that have come off of there here recently. This has got to be weeded. It is unreal. With the rain, it's just like it almost instantly sprouts. I'm gonna have to go through with the tiller after I weed eat and just get this knocked down again, because we have peas that are all mixed in here, all the way down to those stakes are peas. So I've got to weed through that. Down here, we've got sweet potatoes still in the ground. Those will come out later. Zucchini's coming up. It's looking nice. Today, it looks good. Tomorrow, it'll probably be 7 feet long. All of these are ornamental pumpkins. It's first year growing these. So at first, I thought that maybe it was going to grow like a normal pumpkin, because we've got those little areas right here. But if we go down, some of these have grown where they're actually in a cluster. So you can see, like right here's one that's growing. Right here's another that's right down here. If we look, some of these that are just kind of all here right in the center. So I'm really, really interested with these to see how they turn out, but super cool. Excited to see how those continue to progress. We've got them all the way down through here. I think that this is pumpkin, but I did plant squash and zucchini all the way down through here, which was late coming up. So we might have some competing plants to decide what's going to win. That's another project. I ran over the water hose with the lawnmower that runs right under there, up the hill to the spigot. So the goal is a upcoming project here for the fall to get ready is right up here, right at the edge, other side of this tree. I want to put a water collection tower, and I'm going to go tomorrow to build one rain barrel with the intention to be able to build a second one that I'll put on that same stand, and it will be used to water this garden. So it'll have its own roof, water collection system to be able to go through and keep this watered, instead of having to run this hose down and run from the well and use up good well water to be able to water the garden, when we can instead be doing it with rainwater that can be collected. Pumpkins down here are a different variety. These are the larger pumpkins as we try to go through, so you can see some of these that have started to come in. This one is about the size of a basketball now. That was the first one that came on. So I really am happy with that. Last year we tried to grow pumpkins. We were able to get 2, and we had 2 little girls that were really happy to have their own pumpkins. This year we'll have more, and we'll have more to be able to decorate and have fun with. Down through here, we've got stuff that's planted. I cannot remember what my wife planted here. She told me, I forgot, but we will find out. We will find out when it comes in. And then down here, another pumpkin, if I remember correctly, is growing right there, which we're hoping will spread this way. I'll train it that way. Pepper plants are looking really, really good. Jalapenos right there that have come up, those are doing well. Bell pepper plant that is right there is doing well. Through here is cabbage. We didn't have a ton of luck with our cabbage. It looked beautiful earlier this spring, summer that we grew. But that cabbage, we got a lot of cabbage worms that came in. Totally knocked out our broccoli, our cabbage. And we're going to grow it where it'll be a little bit cooler and hopefully a little bit better result. And then this bed, we did 3 different varieties of lettuce. So lettuce is growing. Beans that are growing through here, I'll weed and train everything up. I've started to drive stakes as we can get this trellised up and doing some more work for us. And the tomatoes have kind of taken over. You can see that they've spread. Planted over here, they're growing over here now. They are kind of taking on a mind of their own, but I'm okay with that because I like tomatoes. So we will let them do their thing and not worry about it. Over here, let's check on our pepper plants that we've got here. Now this one looks like traditional jalapeno. Traditional jalapeno that's here. This one, more of a yellow sweet pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these. And it might be a hot pepper. honestly. I'm gonna pull a couple of these. It smells like it could be hot. You can see our jalapeno coming along nicely with that. Lots of fruit growth on that. I'm gonna let this guy go a little bit longer. I like those to get a little bit of size onto them. And the second planting of squash that is all right here is coming on nicely as well. We've got a lot that's come out of that, so we will continue to enjoy. This one I'm probably going to take out. Looks like it's got powdery mildew. So let's see what the final haul is today. Everything that's over here was from the other day. I am saving these beans that I will use for seed. Those we can probably take in and we can eat just a little mess of beans with that. I'm going to let these guys that are on the bench ripen up a little bit more over on this side. Those I feel like are ripe enough. I will go ahead and take those into the house. An entire bucket full of big cherry tomatoes. Some more that are right here. So that's going to do it for today. Fun morning in the garden. Lots of stuff to get done. Looks like I've got to mow today, which I feel like I just did. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way. You get done mowing and you turn around and it's time to mow again. And for me, that's about an hour and a half every time that I do it. But I enjoy it, so that's okay. We've got a lot that's on the agenda. We'll get to work. But thanks for joining, guys. If you enjoy this video, like, share, subscribe. I like to keep you guys updated as we continue with these projects here on the homestead. We will see you next time.